You shouldn't brand your dropshipping store. This is a statement which might be super confusing to you. However, in this video, I'm going to elaborate and tell you exactly how it's mind-blowing to me that people actually are branding their stores and making like social media and all of those things before they even have a winner. Trust me, this is not the way to go. You don't need a perfectly looking branded store, and everything doesn't have to be perfect before you actually find your first winner. And now let me actually tell you one secret here. To make your first 6 figures, you don't need a brand at all. Zero, all right? You don't need any of that. And in fact, it's actually gonna harm you to try to brand things because of a bunch of reasons. So let me hammer this point down by explaining to you every single reason why you shouldn't brand your dropshipping store. So the very first and most important part is that branding is way too advanced. All right. In the first couple of $100,000 you make, you're gonna have direct response marketing, where it's just gonna be people coming to your store and immediately buying. Okay. And trust me, we've split tested this. If you have a general store or if you have a one product store which looks amazing, the difference in between those things is there, but it's not substantial. Like if you test a winning product with a really, really good creative on 2 different stores with the same ads manager, one general store, one product store, and we did this, it doesn't change that much, all right? The conversion rate will fluctuate and it's gonna be better for sure on the branded thing. However, you're still gonna notice that your product is a winner on the general store, and that's all you need. The main thing you want from testing a product is identifying if you should move on or if this actually shows potential and you should keep going with this. And this information you will get without putting in a crazy amount of effort, all right? And this effort is actually very counterproductive because every single time you put in more effort into something, you're gonna be more emotionally attached to it. All right, I see it so often how people come to me and they've put in thousands of dollars in their store, spending a bunch of money for influencers, spending a bunch like to make really good custom content, getting like a web designer to make a perfect store, importing a bunch of products and putting in hours and hours and designing everything and making everything great, then making a perfect social media and doing all of those things before they even know if it's a winner. All right, if you have that and then you test the product on Facebook and you see something is not working, what do then? You're going to test it again. And you're going to test the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing. But it's still going to stay within the same product, all right? Because you've put in so much effort. In reality, if you would have a clear mind, you would tell yourself, fuck, this product is not working, let's move on. However, you're not going to do that if you've put in so much effort and money. So this is a key element which you need to understand. There is no room for emotional attachment in the dropshipping business. Zero, all right? Every time you get emotionally attached to something, you're gonna lose money on that, okay? You just have to analyze the data and see how the response was from Facebook and from your market or wherever you tested it, and you see it worked, it didn't work, why didn't it work? And if you come to the conclusion that everything else was good, then it was the product, all right? Especially if you've already branded everything, then it's for sure the product. So that's that. However, the next thing is ads which are high production and really, really high quality actually tend to perform worse than shitty looking ads. Because if you think about it, if you scroll around on Instagram, you don't stop scrolling at a video which clearly wants to sell you something, okay? However, you do stop scrolling when you see an interesting video, a meme or something which you generally just see on Instagram or Facebook or somewhere where you're scrolling around. You stop scrolling, you actually check what it is. And you need to create the same exact feeling with your ad. You have to make it look like it's not an ad. And all those branded, amazing looking ads just scream sales. Because it is so good looking, it actually hurts your cost per clicks, all right? And this was one of those game changers for me. When I started out, for the first year, I didn't really make money, all right? For the first at least 10 months, I didn't make proper profits. And what I changed up for the same exact product, which I was testing for 10 months, I just changed up the ads in terms of I made them look worse, all right? I literally took the pixels and the resolution, made it lower. I looked at all the pages which were in my niche and checked out how the content on their pages look. Basically, the product was an unboxing niche, and I've actually checked out which videos in unboxing pages went viral, and I basically took my ad and made it look like it's one of those videos, all right? Obviously, it still needed to be about the product and it showed the product. However, it didn't start with that, okay? The first few seconds were something else, and I'm not saying that that's always the way to go because sometimes you can immediately show the product. However, we've put in like a really good scroll stopper, and after that, we showed the product in a way where it just looked very natural and like something still this boxing page would also post. And just by putting a logo on top of your video, you're ruining it. Because immediately everybody knows that you're selling them something, because no meme or no video on Instagram or Facebook is gonna have like a logo on it if they're not selling you anything, okay? Because why would they? And then the next thing, and this one should be very obvious, however, I still have people who came to me and like they did this huge mistake, which is basically ordering in bulk before you have a proven concept. So you make like 10, 20 sales or maybe even 0 sales on your product, and then you order like 1,000 pieces or 200 pieces or 300 pieces. And the question here is, why the fuck would you do that? Why? Because you have no idea if you're gonna sell them, and nothing is gonna get better by you ordering them. You're not gonna sell more because of that. The only thing which could happen is now you're sitting on inventory which you cannot sell, and in the end of the day, what will you do with like 100 back correctors in your apartment which you cannot use anyways? So whatever you're thinking, don't order before you actually make sure that you are gonna get rid of those pieces. Okay? Obviously, always something can happen, and even if you make 6 figures, you have no idea if you're gonna sell the next 100 pieces, but you can be very, very close to being sure. There's obviously never a guarantee, and something can always go wrong. However, the likelihood of you not selling the next like 1,000 pieces if you already sold like 10,000 is way lower than if you only sold 10. Okay? So don't do it, and the improvement in the customer support is not gonna be there because you're thinking, all right, the customer who orders from me is going to have a better experience because they're going to get the product delivery quicker and everything is going to be in a nice package which I'm going to design or whatever. That is the benefit, and the sacrifice is you losing all the money, and all the other customers which would come after those 100 which you already have are not going to get anything because you're losing the opportunity to actually make money, to buy in bulk and have thousands of really happy customers which you can sell things later on, okay? Because right now the main priority you should have is funding your business and making at least a decent amount of money which you can then take to reinvest and actually start working on really good delivery times and all of those things which matter, but they're not primary on your day one. If you compare the first 20 customers from your store to the next 10,000, that's nothing, okay? And you really need to think about it that way. You need to think about it globally, and you need to understand that the more money you make, the better your overall customer experience will be, okay? That's the main thing you need to understand. And the thing is, with a good supplier, without ordering in bulk, you still have like 1 to 2 week shipping times on your products in the beginning, which is totally fine, all right? As long as you're being transparent about it on your store, it's not a problem at all, and we don't really have big complaints about people getting their product like 8 days after they ordered or 10 days after that. It's not that big of a deal. And this is also one big learning. If you personally would never order from a store which looks not branded, it doesn't mean that nobody would, okay? That's a really important concept. You not doing one thing doesn't mean that nobody will do the same thing. And if you think that way, you just need to understand that the whole world is not like you. It's like looking at a person who's super involved into the gym, is like a bodybuilder or whatever, and then asking him if he likes McDonald's, and if he says no, then saying, all right, McDonald's is a shitty company, I would never open something like McDonald's because this guy's not gonna order it, all right? Who cares? Because that's not your target audience. And in a lot of the cases, if you, for example, say, I only order on Amazon, so what? Literally millions of people every single day are ordering things from stores which don't look branded at all. All right? Not at all. Like 0 branding is involved. They're still ordering. Why? Because they want the product. That's why they're on their store. They don't really care about the store itself. They just want to make sure that they don't get scammed. And yes, you need to convey that. So if your store looks like you're going to be scamming them and just ripping them off their money, probably they're not going to buy. However, if it's going to reach a certain baseline, it's not going to be a problem at all. And unfortunately, branding is not the thing which is the highest priority in terms of money. Okay? It's not going to bring you more money than, for example, split testing a scroll stopper. or testing a new creative, or changing the price and changing the offer, or testing a new product. Those things alone are way more important than branding everything and making everything feel super high quality. That's not, it's not it. And why I'm plowing down on this statement and constantly repeating this is because I understand how deeply rooted this thinking is in most of people's heads. Because so many YouTubers are saying the exact opposite of reality. So many people on YouTube are telling you you need to do the branding and you need to make everything perfect, and it's just about the marketing and the sales angles and all of those things, and if you have that, it doesn't matter which product you're going to sell, it's still going to work because you know marketing. Why though? Why would you make your life harder and sell bullshit with good marketing instead of selling really good things with okay marketing? Because you need to be honest to yourself. If you haven't made at least a couple $100,000, you're not good at marketing at all. You're not good, all right? Doesn't matter if you studied marketing, doesn't matter if you think you're good at psychology or whatever, that's not gonna make you sales in the end of the day. All right, and that's a big distinguishment. You need to have a proven track record of you making a bunch of sales to actually say that you're somewhat good at marketing. And even after a couple $100,000, you're basically still a beginner because you still didn't really figure out how to scale this to like real numbers where you consistently can make a living out of it. So if you really understand this concept and actually want to implement this, I have one thing for you. All right. Comment the word supplier below this video if you actually want to have a supplier which you don't need to buy inventory from, where you still get 1 to 2 week shipping times from that. All right? So comment the word supplier and we're going to send it your way. And also, if you want to work with me one-on-one, sign up for a free consultation session with me personally. We're going to have a one-on-one chat and find out if everything is a good fit. Click the link below and we're going to check out if everything sounds good. And if yes, we're going to start working together on a one-on-one program where I'm constantly going to look over your shoulder, tell you exactly what you need to do in terms of product selection, ad creation, store creation, Facebook testing, scaling, and then at the very last point, branding. Okay, we're going to go into excruciating details into every single step of those. So if you actually want to do that, click the link below and see you there.